January then, where it's really an all-out war. This is between the old boys of retail and the new boys of e-tail. We're talking about the likes of Future Group, Shoppers Stop, which held a mega press conference today on that DIPP press note last week, which spoke about the new norms with respect to FDI in e-commerce. Now remember, this comes at a time when some companies such as Amazon are buying time when it comes to implementing these norms because it goes against their existing structure. To really slug it out in a sense on the show, we have a very powerful voice, Krishna, none other than Kishore Biyani of Future Group, who's really been leading the charge on behalf of retailers. Mr. Biyani, such a pleasure to have you on ED Now Startup Central. You know, on the face of it, there's more clarity. The field has been leveled between you and the e-tailers. So why are you still complaining?
I think since the clarification has come in, we are seeing more heightened activity of contravention to exactly what the clarification is all about. People are still continuing with advertising. People are still behaving in the same way they used to behave. I think marketplace has been defined very well. Inventory-based commerce has been defined very well. But I think the business continues as usual. The discounts are still happening. There is no direct seller and buyer relationship. So there are multiple contraventions which we believe are bad in law and spirit both, which continues to happen. And so we will have somebody will have to raise the voice on this.
Mr. Biyani, this is Krishna here from Mumbai studios. Is it really unfair that some of these, e-commerce companies, such as even biggies like Amazon, have sought time till September to comply? Why are you still crying foul?
I think one has to look at the clarification. The clarification says that this clarification is from immediate effect.
Right, Mr. Biyani, you've also been railing against the likes of BigBasket, which follow an inventory-led model. Now, BigBasket has defended itself vigorously, even on this show, saying that their structure is different and the way they've structured their operating entities means that, they are well within the norms. So, what is the real problem here? I mean, BigBasket has been around for more than a year now. Why is this being, really raised now and at such a huge level?
But when the clarification comes in on an inventory-based model which is not allowed, it becomes very open and clear that they are contravening the laws.
All right, Mr. Biyani, tell us, do you believe, the government can really have a say when it comes to things like pricing? How can the government practically monitor, other schemes such as cashbacks which retailers may now use to get around the discounting-led model?
I think the cashback is a relationship between the banker and the buyer. It's not a relationship between the marketplace and the buyer. So that's what has to happen. The marketplace cannot have a relationship with the seller except that he's bringing the seller and the buyer together.
Mr. Biyani, a lot of analysts tracking this space feel that, this is perhaps now an opportunity for players like you to step up. I mean, the fact that they've leveled the playing field, they've brought clarity means that traditional retailers now have a potential opportunity to really step up investments in this space. I mean, we've seen this happening in piecemeal fashion, whether, with respect to Aditya Birla Group's ABOF portal. You have acquired Fab Furnish this week. But beyond that, what is Future Group's game plan going to be as far as online commerce is concerned? I mean, what about big categories like electronics and fashion?
I think electronics, we are already there. Ezone.com, Ezone.in rather, and Fab Furnish will get our entry into home retail. And once things subside down, there are enough opportunities for us to get into various segments of retail.
Mr. Biyani, as we speak, we've heard Alibaba overtaking Walmart in terms of sales and becoming the biggest retailer in the world. Is online commerce, at the end of the day, a reality that we need to come to grips with? And more importantly, how are you preparing for the battle ahead?
I think online, worldwide, offline still constitute 90% of the business. And even in online, if it is 10%, 5% comes out of multi-channel. So pure online is still 5% in a very, very evolved market. So I think 95% is still happening by the brick and mortar stores. And we are seeing a trend of a lot of brick and mortar people buying online retailers. So I somehow believe retail is retail. It's selling product and goods and brands to the customer. So it doesn't matter how they buy it. Technology support is being used by online retailers as well as offline retailers both.
Mr. Biyani, beyond that big show of strength today in Mumbai, you, a whole host of other retailers, what is the next course of action going to be for you in this battle, so to speak, against e-tailers?
I think the association will have to keep on reviewing the situation. We'll keep on meeting periodically and decide the next course of action.
All right, Mr. Biyani, one last thing before we let you go. Tell us, will you be going to the courts if nothing else works out?
I think the clarification is quite clear, and somewhere or the other the enforcement has to happen. So we don't think that we are wanting any litigation on this.
All right, Mr. Biyani, but thank you so much for taking time out to be with us here.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.